So my friends, I have a car right here next to me, and we've been talking to a lovely gal named Taylor, and can't believe it. We got another spiritual encounter tonight in the parking of Walmart, and Walmart. My sister got to actually experience it and witness it. I've been telling her that I've been having these encounters time and time again, and how this all happened is we came out of Walmart without a mask on.
Yes.
And she was sitting in her little car right there, and she says, "Oh, what's the deal with you guys not wearing a mask, right?"
She asked us if we wore masks in there.
Yeah, and we said that no, we weren't wearing masks, and then we got on the whole mask thing.
Yes.
And she's such a sweetheart.
She is.
And we had an incredible conversation. She told us that she was a Mormon. She was a Mormon at one time.
A Mormon, yeah.
We got on the subject, obviously, of how the Spirit leads us, and it just opened the door to talk about Christ. Because when she talked about COVID, and she talked about the mask, and then I'm like, this is all part of prophecy, and she's like, "Oh man, you sound just like my mom."
Yeah.
And it was, I'm telling you, friends, we need to be bold.
That's what
God
wants us to be.
Yes, and we need to open. If we wouldn't have stopped here and talked to this young girl, and it was because we didn't wear masks. That was like the key right there, because we didn't wear masks. And she's like, I felt like an outcast in there. And then
she saw us two without them in the store. She said, I think we were the only 3 people in there.
And then it just led to prophecy, and we talked about Jesus' second coming. So, Christy's going to film as I finish the rest of the story about Taylor. It was so awesome, because here's this young woman who, we had the mask thing in common, which was, when I always pray for Holy Spirit encounters, and ever since I came here to Idaho, I've asked the Holy Spirit to reveal, confirm, and give me opportunities to witness. And there has not been a day when that hasn't happened. And now that my sister's here, she's actually beginning to experience that too. So Taylor, we talked about the government, and then the Lord just opened my heart. The Holy Spirit just opened my heart to just start telling her about Jesus. And it was like a natural part of the conversation. This is the thing when you're Spirit-led. It will just naturally happen. There are some people that, you don't want to jump in and start talking about Jesus is coming. But there's some people that when you're being Spirit-led, it's just going to come naturally. And it was with Taylor. I just told her, I said, you know what? If you think it's all about the government, this is really a spiritual warfare that's going on. And think about it this way. Jesus is coming back, and this has been prophesied. And she's listening. And when I stopped talking, she looked at me. She says, you know what? You sound just like my mother. In a good way. She's like, you sound just like my mother. My mother tells me these things all the time. And I said, you know what? You need to listen to your mother, because she's right. And then she told me that she grew up as a Mormon, and she says she don't even have a Bible. And she says, I'm not Mormon. She says, I just, she believes in God, and it sounds like she knows who Jesus is. And she just don't know right now. She just sees this stuff going on in the world, and she's got a lot of health issues. And it was really interesting, because she has all these health issues, and she's very young, and she's on some medications. We talked about the medication she's on, and I told her that I had the multiple myeloma and cancer, and she couldn't believe it. And I said, and the Lord has led me to do things naturally. And she's just like, wow. And I told her about the lifestyle centers. I'm going to be working as a missionary in one of the lifestyle centers. And she's like, yeah, I'm not eating meat anymore. And she says, I really feel good that I'm not eating meat. And she says, I'm really trying to eat healthy. And so we talked about kind of health, and we had that common ground there. But at the end, what was so powerful is after we had talked, we ended up praying. And she gave me her contact information. So you know what? Pray for Taylor. Taylor has a lot of pain. a lot of, and she's a young woman, and she's looking and she's searching, and it's a beautiful thing. So, and the other thing I want to encourage all of you is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to speak about Christ. Don't be afraid to find that common ground. Be led by the Holy Spirit. I always say walk by faith and not by sight. And that has to go with us witnessing too. Because God will give us those opportunities to witness. It's not up to us to change people's mind. It's not up to us to make them believe or not believe. But it is up to us to be that light. And God will give us those opportunities if we allow Him to. And that's the thing we must remember. What are you doing right now to tell people about Jesus? Because Jesus did a lot for us. And we all have a responsibility. I know people don't like to hear this, but we all have a responsibility to share the gospel, because Jesus Christ died for that gospel. All right, we're headed back to my friend's place, and hopefully we'll have a wonderful night, and we'll do a little more worship, and I'll have lots to write in my journal. All right, good night, everybody, and God bless. Here. You want me to get it?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. Can't ever get it.